we don't just come up with narratives about our ethnic heritage or our cultural heritage. We live it every day. We live it in our homes, you know, with the little things that we put around us, with the music that we play, potentially with the books that we read at night to our kids, or the stories, the anecdotes that we share about our family, right? That bring us a little bit closer to them, even though they're miles and miles away. I grew up in Ecuador, and during that time that I was growing up, there was actually like a national policy of mestizaje. So a lot of our education was about just focused on the urban areas, focused on a very outward Western or European view. We didn't really learn that much about our own country. And so it was when I came to the United States, I was at University of Texas for college, that I started learning much more about my country, about indigenous cultures there, about the multiple languages that are spoken there. It was interesting. It was sort of a combination of curiosity and amazement, and also a little bit of embarrassment that I didn't know that about my own country. That kind of, I think, led me down the path of ethnomusicology and anthropology. I'm also the author of this children's book that's called On the Wings of the Condor. My thought behind the book was that, like me, there are many kids that grow up far from their countries, from their cultures, and feel somewhat disconnected. So it was sort of an attempt to tell the story of my son Kai and to connect that in some ways to family history, people that passed away, some of them before he was born, and also to connect it to like a cultural history. Let him know that he has roots in this culture and that he knows things about this culture. I traveled to Cusco and to Machu Picchu specifically for the anniversary of my father's passing away. So it was the 20th year of his passing away, of his anniversary, 2007. And I was pregnant with Kai in my second trimester, and decided I needed a little bit of that cariño andino, you know, during that special time. And that's kind of where the book was born, you know, sort of documenting this journey that I was doing for myself to honor my dad, but also to sort of introduce these two souls that were not quite in this world somehow, but connected in many ways. And I just did a Word document and just embedded the images in the Word document, kind of laid it out, very, very simple. And then our librarian at The Ohio State University, Pamela Espinosa de los Monteros, she looked at it and she encouraged me to go ahead and publish it. So then I turned it into a book, just a self-publishing, but the book might have a future with a children's press at some point. It is sort of a love letter for Kai in many ways. Okay, so On the Wings of the Condor. And I have a little dedication here that says, with love for Kai, because every child has an epic story. Although you were born a proud 7th-generation Texan, your father and I sensed early on that you might have an Andean soul. So when you were just a tiny baby in my belly, you and I embarked on an important journey to the heart of the Andes, the land of our ancestors. We would journey to a place high up in the clouds from where we could send a message on the wings of the condor up to Huapacha, the world above where spirits dwell, and to Chaishukpacha, the time-space where ancestors live and watch over us.
She brought the book out and I was sitting with my grandma on the couch, and you know, all this stuff was going on, but it was kind of like it was just me and my grandma and my mom in that moment, us three. And we read the whole book, and I was, you know, and by the end of it, I was so touched, like tears were like streaming down my face. It touched me that my mom talked about me and like wrote this book to further connect me to my roots. And I think that was just a very powerful moment for me. And she would tell me stories growing up about, you know, Ecuador and just stories of her growing up, and I always wanted to know more and learn, like, dive into them.
Kai has grown up around these things, and he recognized them as he read the book. And also his friends who come around the house, when they looked at the book, they also recognized some of these things in the house. So it is a way of bringing sort of an element of culture around us by way of these little things that are just photographed and put into the book. So eventually you and I tackled a hike up to Huayna Picchu, which means the young mountain. So Machu Picchu means the old one, and Huayna Picchu is the young mountain. And I checked with my doctor to make sure I could hike that thing while I was pregnant with you. And a little old lady passed me on the trail. I remember that. But only a few people are allowed to make their way up this mountain each day, and we were lucky to be admitted. From the summit, you can see clearly that the city of Machu Picchu is in the shape of the condor. Can you see it? So here's the head.
There's the head, and
there's the body.
The body.
And then these are the wings.
The wings there.
Isn't that impressive?
It was us taking that journey, and like I wasn't born yet, but I was there. We went on that journey, and we have gone back and continued. I don't think the journey has ever ended with me and my mom. I think there's so much more to continue with that, and I'm looking forward to reconnecting with my culture there. I think right now is where that journey is kind of really taking off, and like where I'm going to discover things about myself.
For many of us who migrate, there's an expectation on the one hand that we should know something about our cultures, right? It's sort of embracing the fact that we don't know, that we're not just born knowing things, right? And just that the fact that we're from a place doesn't mean that we entirely understand its history, its culture. I mean, it's so profound, it really does require some level of commitment or determination to go in that direction. But we're all part of something bigger than us, right? Yeah, I think it's sort of like valuing the individual, the individuality, the amazing stories that we have, each one of us, but also recognizing that we are part of a bigger history, a bigger culture, and bringing that into our everyday lives and into our everyday sort of experiences, I think is important.
I've been equipped with knowledge about myself and my roots. And there's still much more to learn, but what I have so far, I think it's been able to build and mold me, my character. The Inca believed that the Condor was a messenger between worlds. A soft wind swirled around and whispered your secret name, Kai, which in Quechua means presence, an aura of wakefulness. In this world, Kai Pacha, the world of nature.
It doesn't have to be like a masterpiece, it just has to be heartfelt. And I think that the children take it that way, right? As they sort of receive it, it doesn't have to be perfect for them. It just has to be something that they can recognize themselves in, and that they can recognize like the home that they've grown up in and realize, oh, these little things, they do connect us back to something somehow. A book always has a life after it's done. I had been asked to do a reading of the book for Hispanic Heritage Month this year. Our Bexley librarian said, no, this is like, we need to do something more than this. And so we started conceiving of a series of workshops. I used the book as a prototype or as a model for intergenerational workshop, where grandparents and parents and kids work together to put together their family stories and their cultural stories, and then have a series that we can then, put in the libraries. Kids now, maybe they don't grow up with this sense of like an epic story and that they are part of that. So in that way, it was also sort of an idea of how can we share this out? How can other kids discover their stories in the same way?